through Matthew 7:13 through 17. In 13 we read where this says that they enter at the straight gate. It's a gate of honesty and understanding with oneself and with God. We've got to know ourselves to be able to know what God is placing into our lives. First, we've also got to have a clear vision, because at that point we've got to make sure we have the capacity to receive what we're asking for. Sometimes we don't think, and we'll, for example, Lord, send me anywhere. Lord, I want to just do your work, and Lord, if you'll just tell me where to go, I'll be there. Well, what if the Lord were to tell you to, go to Africa? You sit there and look at, I don't have my passport. That's what I mean by capacity. We've got a plan. We've got to have goals and visions, and we've got to work towards those. In verse 14, narrow is the way that leadeth into life. Vision, purpose, and perception of focus, tranquility, the peace that passes all understanding, that path that when you get into life and you get into purpose, and when we can have the mind of God and have the productive positivity, that growth mindset that pushes us to plant positive seeds instead of negative seeds, because it's no secret that we all know that we reap what we sow. So if we continuously sow negative seeds, whether if it's unworthiness of ourselves, our mindset, things that we would like to do but we can't do, and we can't do because, and we always come up with some reason in our head of, why we couldn't do this or couldn't do that, and really that's just our fleshly mindset of negativity blocking the progressiveness of the purpose of God for our lives. In 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Which fruits? I ask always a lot of questions, sometimes of whys. I don't necessarily, I look at the whats, but when something is happening and is in any type of situation, I see what's happening with my eyes. But the first question I always have and I always pose is, why? Whatever just happened in the situation it happened in, why did it happen? That's what I look at, and I look at that when God said that he knows the very intentions of our heart. So that's where a lot of the times that when we love one another and, we're supposed to help one another, and reach out our hands and help fallen soldiers up when someone falls, when someone gets stagnant or slow, rather than to judge or rather than to point fingers. It's our job to be a light and to help them up, simply because we reap what we sow. And the time comes that if we slip and fall, that we would hope that somebody that calls themselves our friends or our brothers or sisters, that would lend down a helping hand and help us back up onto our feet. That we, as many members, but it's still only one body.